What is up, guys? It is Drop here, back with another video. Today, by popular demand, I'm going to be talking about bigger maps and how I handle them. Specifically, people really wanted to see RAPTOR Down after I used it to describe how to approach buildings or your initial breach point in one of my CQB tutorial videos. So what I did was I ran this mission just this morning. This is my first time running it. You're about to see the raw footage. And believe it, you cannot, whatever. I do lose one guy on the mission, but it's not, I don't think it's due to how I handled the map. It's just due to how I handled a specific situation. So we'll just take it as a learning point, and I'll talk about it, and I'll talk about what I would have done differently after it had happened. And I'll also explain why I did it. So anyways, when it comes to big maps, it can be hard to transfer real life into this, right? Because real life, if we have a compound this big, we're not taking 9 fucking rangers in. Okay, we're gonna have probably, I mean, I'm not on fucking ranger bat, but this would probably be at least a couple platoons worth. But you'd have at least a goddamn platoon, right? With a whole weapons squad pulling support by fire. You'd have a whole cordoning unit that just isolates this area, so that you didn't have this QRF problem coming from the north, especially if you know it's coming. You would definitely have a cordon unit pulling security north. But what I want to try to do is translate still real world tactics and apply them to the gameisms, right? So that's what I'm always trying to do for you guys. So the way that I look at these maps, right? We have the edges, which I consider kind of safe zones, so to speak. I know people can come off the edges of the map. I haven't had too much issue with it yet, but for the most part, when they do, it seems like they come off of very distinct, like, roadways, right? Like in this one, I knew from the intel that our enemy was coming from the north, so my assumption was, first time running this map, was it would be one of these 2 roads, and I ended up being right. They all ended up coming from this road. So I'll explain how I did it, but basically the sides of the map are kind of safe zones minus, you know, these few infill points you can think of. After that, I try to break the map down into sections. So for this one specifically, I break it down like this, right? So you have this section, and then this northern section with this main road kind of running through the whole thing. So my plan, and what I want you guys to start trying to do, is thinking of these big maps when you don't have a platoon sized element, is how can you section these maps off so that you don't have to worry about people, because I think the big concern is with people running these maps is, you know, if their whole squad's up here, and they move over here, well, now these guys are coming up and causing chaos, or, you know, they're working a house, but then guys are running in behind, and like they've cleared this way, but then people run back in this way, right? So the way I want you guys to start thinking about these maps is how to isolate these areas when you break them down like that, right? So my plan was I wanted to push up here, put a little support by fire here, get my foothold into this house, and then I wanted this group to isolate this road right here, because as far as I know, enemies don't break down fences. Now, if that changes or if that's a thing, then I'm sorry. Adjust your plan accordingly to that info, you know. But as far as I know, enemies have not been able to hop or break down fences yet. If they do, I'll change my TTPs. It's fine. But for this map, based off that information, I had a support by fire section here, isolating this entire road, which once I get my foothold, effectively cuts off this entire southern region. And you'll see for the rest of the map, I don't go to it. There's no need to. Your objective is here. You have a support by fire element with a 240, a saw, and a regular rifleman locking down this entire road. And even if something punches across, I can just pay attention to it and be like, okay, well, somebody punched across from that way. Now I do have to worry about somebody back here, right? Or whatever it is, but it doesn't happen. But the point is, if you can isolate sections of the map, you can effectively make them non-existent. Except for this little shooter's nest here that you'll see they end up shooting a guy like right through this super tight angle, and that'll happen, and we'll talk about that. But now that I've explained that is the thought process I want you guys to have for these big maps, then I can try to do more examples. If there's a map you're having a hard time with and you want me to run it and just showcase it, by all means throw it in the comments and we'll run it up. I haven't really done a lot of big maps because I am still trudging my way through this game. People really want to see me like hitting the harder difficulties, and I got it. I'm working my way through this game as I can. I am still active duty, which is a lot of work in and of itself, and I do have 2 kids under 3, so you know, I play when I can, and I'm chipping away. But I know people are anxious. I did do my first mission with kind of like the near peer SF force. I got pieced up pretty good initially, but that's just because I wasn't expecting it, and then I just changed my TTPs up because we have stuff for everything. And once I did that, I flowed through the mission just fine. So, you know, people keep saying I'm going to get my ass handed to me, and I think like, yeah, some surprises here and there will catch me off guard, but it's just like real life. Once you see your enemy patterns and habits, you can change your TTPs to what you need them to be, and then you'll be fine. And people can get mad about that all they want. If they don't have tactical knowledge, that's on them, not me. So anyways, after that long wind-drawn explanation, let's just roll through the mission. So I have these guys approach the building. If you haven't seen my video on, quote, urban movement, check it out. It's one of my most recent CQB tutorial videos. I just do the exact same thing I explained then, so I'm just going to run it. I'm not going to explain it. You can check out that video if you haven't heard it. So I do my thing. Everybody's pulling their security out. We're taking our time, covering all of our angles. As the targets appear, they just start taking them out. As you can see, the first guy rolled onto this window, second guy rolled onto this one. Okay, now they've reached the building. What's going to happen is my yellow guy here, he's got a 240, and then this orange guy here is got the saw, and both of these guys are going to be the ones pulling this security down this corridor. So once they get that, they have and will effectively cut off the entire southern portion of this map. Now, once I get this foothold, all I have to do is start working my way through the north, and then I end up pushing on the outskirts and then pulling a little localized security while I deal with this, and then I exfil out. So let's see what all that looks like. Go in, have my boys work the house as they're supposed to. Everything's clear, too easy. I do also have this guy pulling security here, just in case somebody runs up. I don't know if the helicopter will even shoot people. I can see them, but somebody could run out here and come in this tight little area where I have no eyes, and then pop out and shoot these guys in the side. So I have this guy just kind of pulling their security because I have the bodies for it.
Setting charge.
I wanted to open this door. I know it's weird setting a charge inside to out, but I did not want to, with the way all these angles work and how tight this spot is. I didn't want to open that door, especially since I know QRF is coming from one of these roads. So in the event they come from this road, I just didn't want to open this door and be in a weird spot where they can see me at this angle. So I place a charge on the door and I back everybody up to just give them that space. You want to take every advantage you can with your equipment and stuff, especially on maps like this, because there's so many people. The less you can leave to chance, the better. So that's what I did. Have people start doing their mag changes while we're working. I think there's even people out here, so I think it even works. As you can see, or as you could hear, 240 shot this guy right here, so he's already locking down this corridor. Yeah, I mean, door blows open, we take care of all that crap. That probably was actually the QRF coming in too. Now what I do is my 3-man support team, because I know, well, actually I don't know yet. I'm inferring that is the QRF because I know later on that it's the QRF. But I have these guys push up because I want this 240 to have a better angle down this road, not being blocked by this building. I also want the 240 and the saw to be able to pull security here as well as here where this QRF is going to be. And then I leave a third rifleman because, again, I want him pulling security back here in the event somebody starts to come around here. I am fairly certain, this is kind of a joke, but I'm fairly certain that this game fucking cheats, and that if I didn't have this rifleman here looking back the entire time, it would calculate some weird algorithm and just shoot some guy over here knowing it's not being covered. I don't know if that's true, that's just my paranoia, but anyways, we'll move on. So then what I do, QRF comes out, I just take care of it. All right, one team pushes out, they're gonna take this first house, the second team's gonna immediately push to this house. While they're pushing, right, I still have a guy pulling security outwards because, again, there's a guy right there, he's shot, you know, so just keeping, and I go over that in the urban movement, right? So if you haven't seen that video, just see that video and you'll know what I'm talking about. But have this guy watching this window while his boys leapfrog around him, get in this house. As you can see, it's a weird situation. We want to get in this hallway, but we have an open door here, an open door there. I'm working the house. Yep, house is clear. These guys are going to move in. All right, so I cleared the house just enough to let these guys push in. I'm going to take care of, I think I take care of this room. And I just don't even worry about this one. And then I just immediately push out and get ready to move this way. So again, kind of like this big map, right? We're just isolating. I could come in here and check all this, but I just don't really want to take the time to do it. It's a big map. I want to avoid as much conflict as I possibly can, so I kind of just want to deal with this house when I have to, and then get out here and move out. Now, you can absolutely methodically search every single thing. That might even be better. This game being more methodical seems to be better than kind of the real world speed is security catchphrase, but I still, just because I've done it so much, I still end up doing things like bypassing, you know, certain things, but it's not necessarily the right answer. It's just a answer. So take that information as you will and just play your games how you feel like you need to. And I do this quick little check. Yeah, I do check this little bathroom. And then I'm like, okay, I don't care about this room and I don't care about this dead space. I'm also not really watching rear because I have these guys here. Nothing is gonna come into this door without them knowing it. So there's really no need to. All right, get these guys on the door. I end up pushing out, just like I've taught before. So this is where, yep, you can see this guy. He is about to get a slight angle on my guy here. I don't notice it until he starts getting shot. Hey, sometimes you have to, and as soon as he got shot, I paused, snagged him up, and just moved him. This fight is way too far away. That is a crazy angle. The game can go fuck itself, but no, in all seriousness, it's just one of those things. He's too far away. This guy's not going to be able to effectively engage him. He is being decisively engaged right now. So much like a hallway, I just need to get the fuck out of there. So I push him to the side just enough to get out of that view while still pulling some security. And then I'm like, all right, I need to get these guys moving because I don't want to be in, just like a hallway, I don't want to be in this any longer than I have to. So I noticed the QRF comes, and I didn't like how long it took the saw to take him out. I kind of wish they would increase with the saw and the 240. I mean, I haven't really gotten to see the 240 rock and roll, but like real world, I mean, I get it, it's a game, like these guys just pop up, but like this saw could just, if they were all grouped up like that, I mean, they're getting fucking mowed down instantly. But I didn't like how long it took, so I was concerned that a group would pop up, and then these guys are already injured, so I was like, one or two more shots and they're going down. So I end up pushing two guys over here, one guy to help build an L-shaped ambush for all my ranger students in here, and then I have one guy for him to pull security rear so nobody comes up, like, you know, from this house, because I don't really deal with it maybe come out this door, come this way, come all the way around and try to shoot him in the back. So I end up pushing forward with just 4 guys. My thought process is I can take these 4 guys, come around. I can have 1 guy pulling security this way, 1 guy pulling security this way, and 1 guy pulling security this way with intersecting fires, and then have my 1 guy doing the work, and then we can just boogie out. Again, there's multiple ways to skin this cat. As long as you can explain why you're doing something, you're not necessarily wrong. All right, so this is actually where I lose another guy. So we're gonna talk about it. So what happens is I have everybody pushing over here and I have this guy just kind of looking out. I noticed 3 people. So I'm like, fuck, that's already kind of a lot. So I push this guy out. You're about to see, I'm gonna cancel his path there. And I push him out right here looking this way to just help him clean everything up. And then I'm worried that when I shoot, people are gonna run out of here, open doors, right? So I'm like, he just needs a little backup. But what I don't do is I don't stop these guys. I actually reroute them to keep going. In my head, I'm like, let's just get the hell out of this road. But you'll see what ends up happening is I think this guy right here ends up just like shooting one of them in the side because they have no side plates on right now and just drops them. What I should have done was just push these 2 out, let them fucking handle it. Had this guy pulling security here, had this guy pulling security here, because while I know now that the QRF comes here, I don't know if they also come here. I kind of just assumed they didn't, and that could have actually really bit me in the ass. So I should have been more precautious with that. Had a guy pulling security here, and then had these 2 guys just kind of clean up this alley, make sure it's safe, and then push across. There it is. As you can see, he just took him out, but these guys do clean them all up, and then now you know, I could pull these guys, but again, I just felt like I could handle this last little bit with the 3 still, so I just went with it. On security, wrapping around. Now that they are 3 guys though, I try to vary. These guys are taking care of the QRF again, as you can see. Got that nice L-shaped ambush, took them out super fast. I do have these guys kind of pulling rear security just a little more because now we're getting a little low on our numbers here approaching this objective. So, which was my decision, but if we're gonna make that decision, we have to try to do it the best way we can. Pushes up. I just have them look in center of this courtyard because it gives them pretty much complete view that they need. I bumped him out because this guy's injured and this guy's not. That's all that was. So I wanted him up front, especially attacking this door. Have these guys just pulling security here, and then I end up pushing him in just to clear this real quick. And then all I'm gonna do is have these 2 pull security while 1 guy does the work. Did not know that this was a countdown and an explosion. Like I said, first time around the mission, all the way through. So yeah, I just have them book it. And then once they get there, guys, all they do is I have them just work their way back very methodically, the exact same way they came in. Because that's going to be, while there can still be people here in these areas you're backtracking, it's going to be way more safe than trying to cut through this area, dealing with like all these angles that you haven't cleared yet. You know what I mean? So all we do is work our way back, and I actually end up coming up here, meeting them, and then we just push around the entire edge of this map. Still have them, you know, principles of security going on, especially with this tight 3-man group, just to be safe. See how easy it is to kill them with a nice L-shaped ambush. Then they wrap around. I was walking, I was like, fuck this, just sprint. These guys are pulling security for them, so it should be okay. They get here, and then they're gonna do the exact same thing in the reverse. This guy's still gonna grab this window because I don't know if somebody was in here and they're moving around the house. So we had window, and then QRF came in again. So now everybody's just moving forward, pulling their security, and I have my rear guys pulling at the rear. And all they do is walk up.
Tango down.
See, guy in front's still pulling security. Still murking dudes.
Tango down.
And then, boom, they're out of there.
All the way.
So again, there's probably more ways we can do this map. If you guys want, I mean, I can just try to run it as many different ways as I can, but again, the big thing is no matter if you decide to go this way or this way or this way, if you can think of these maps as sections that you can cut off with some sort of localized support by fire, again, depending on the amount of people you have, that's going to help you isolate this objective properly, just like we would in real life. You know, real life, the fucking Rangers would come in this way, take these two houses, and they'd have a fucking 3 fucking 240s right here overlooking, and they'd be fucking shooting all this shit until they got these houses, you know, and then they'd shift this way, you know, and shifts and lifts, all that shit, but you don't have that luxury, so you have to kind of take the real world idea of isolating an objective and break it down to a lower level. I hope that kind of helped and answered some questions, just showing you my thought process. If you have any questions, please throw them in the comments. If there's just other maps you want to see, I'll do the same thing. I'll look at the map, I'll fucking analyze it, and then I'll run it first run, and we'll see what it looks like. But yeah, thanks again for watching. I hope you got something out of this, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.